Hey there, you found Cameras and Car Seats, the podcast for photographers who are tired of being told to hustle harder while trying to remember if you grabbed diapers at your last Target run. I'm Jamie, your destination adventure elopement photographer who somehow manages to adventure with couples while raising tiny humans.
And I'm Alex, holding down the Lincoln logs in the Midwest traditional wedding scene, proving you can crush those weekend weddings and still make it to family dinner. If you're editing in the pickup line, scheduling client calls during nap time, or just trying to figure out how to run a profitable photography business without sacrificing your family life, you're in the right place. We're dropping real, actionable advice that actually works for mom photographers.
No bro marketing, no toxic hustle culture, just two photographer moms keeping it real about making this whole business thing work while raising our families. So grab your watered down iced coffee.
Ignore that pile of laundry for another hour or day.
And let's dive into today's episode.
Hi, welcome back to Cameras and Car Seats. And today we have Jamie Tobin Photography with us, chatting about all things destination wedding and adventure elopements. Hi, Jamie.
Hi.
I am so excited to chat about all things elopements because I know a ton of people have so many questions about what it's like and what goes into being an elopement and destination photographer.
I mean, yeah, it's easy and there's nothing else like it. Totally kidding. It is not easy. And I would argue that being a destination photographer is more work than just being a traditional wedding photographer.
There's a lot that I think goes in behind the scenes that people don't realize. It's not just a lot of fun, pretty pictures. And it is pretty pictures, but just traveling and putting your feet up and soaking it in. There's a lot that goes into it. Yeah.
It's not just getting on a plane, getting served caviar and bringing your camera and then showing up and then leaving. And I mean, that's kind of how Instagram makes it look, but there's a lot of loneliness, leaving your family, feeling like you're missing milestones, and also just pure exhaustion. There was one time, I got so sick. I was flying home from Hawaii and I ended up being on 3 different planes. I was exhausted and I got altitude sickness.
Oh my gosh.
And thank God my mom was able to take a sick day. By the time with the time change getting from Hawaii to Iowa, I was so delusional. And then I was sick and I didn't even wake up until 2:00 in the afternoon the next day. And my mom was like, yeah, I just kind of showed up. I had a feeling.
Oh no. Okay.
Shout out to moms. Moms just know.
So before diving into all of those amazing details and tips, can we get a little bit of backstory on your business and you and your home life?
Yeah. Okay. So I have been mostly solely destinations and elopements. I started to rebrand in 2019, but if we go way back in time for a hot second, I have been shooting weddings. I'm coming up on my 14th wedding season. I've always loved weddings. I will never not love weddings. I mean, I feel like it's very clear after doing this for 14 seasons now that I'm still obsessed with it. But when I was 22, I moved to Connecticut. It's where I met my husband. And then we ended up moving back to Iowa. And I just immediately jumped back into traditional weddings. I've said I didn't want to be a server or bartender anymore. I went full send on my business, but we didn't have kids yet at the time. And I realized I loved it, but it felt like something was missing. And I just couldn't put my finger on it because I loved my couples. I still love my couples. I felt not totally at peace. And then I shot my first elopement and I was full send, never going back.
Yeah.
This is incredible.
Yes. I was going to ask you, is there a transitional moment where you were okay, elopements are for me?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. The moment I shot my first real full elopement, everything changed. And I immediately was yep, we're rebranding completely. I'm never going back. This is exactly what had been missing because I've always been obsessed with outdoor and a lot of nature filled weddings. But for the most part, I'm from Iowa. So traditional Iowa weddings are 200 plus guests and they're a barn venue, whether it's a nice barn, white and pretty, it's still a barn venue. And it's usually a church ceremony. And it was too indoors. It just wasn't me. And I loved my winery weddings. I went back through all of my clients and that's when I realized oh, I really vibe with my clients that got married at Cedar Ridge Winery, or like, cause we were outside all day. We were in the vines, we were in nature. We were just being our goofy little selves. Yeah. And like, it didn't feel, I just felt held back indoors, and I didn't realize that until I had achieved my elopements. And like, it in a way, it was like an accident. Like, oh, this is what I've been missing.
Yeah. Yeah. So how would you say, because when you first started, you did not have kids.
No.
So how does shooting elopements with children differ from traditional weddings?
I feel like, and that's why I put Mercer in preschool, is because, well, he starts preschool soon, but it's so different because it's not just, shooting a wedding on a Saturday and then you have the wedding hangover on Sunday and you hang out a little bit. If I have a wedding on Saturday, I have to fly on minimum Thursday, get everything situated, get my rental car, figure it out. And then usually I'm with my couple the day before, whether that's rehearsal coverage or just hanging out. And then I have their coverage on Saturday. Sunday is either then a travel day, I'm getting home late, and then it's Monday morning, and then my husband has to go to work. I'm exhausted. I need to get sneak peeks out, and I need to do this. I need to do all these things business-wise, while I'm also just so freaking tired from traveling. And then my children are just like, mommy's home, mommy's home, mommy's home.
Yeah. What are some of the things that you love about having kids with destinations?
One thing I absolutely love, though, for sure, is taking them with me. And I don't take them with me every single time, but when I do get to, like, I have these fun photos and videos of Mark baby wearing Mercer and Acadia when we had an Acadia elopement, and that's in Maine. But it's so fun to just be like, you're working, and then like for a split second you look over your shoulder and your boys are just admiring you, like, that's my mama, she's doing her thing.
I love that. Because how old are your boys now?
So Mercer is 3 now, Jet is 1, and Mark is 31. No, he's my man child. He does what I say. Thank you, honey. No.
So if somebody was like, yes, I would absolutely love to get into destination and elopements as a photographer, what are some of the common misconceptions that you hear?
I feel like probably one of the biggest misconceptions is that it's cheaper or easier. I'm definitely in the more luxury space of elopements. I do all day adventure elopements, multi-day elopements. And I will hone in on the fact that an elopement is not just a photo shoot with a ceremony attached. It is still your day. It's the day you're committing yourself to your partner. It deserves to be documented, whether you call it an elopement or a wedding. It's your day.
Yeah. Okay. So that leads me into the next question then. When it comes to like a full day or a multi-day, I think some people think, like you said, that an elopement or destination is a ceremony with a photo session attached to it. What fills the days on elopements and destination weddings when you don't have all the traditional timeline? So
that's like the fun part, is you're not just jumping from hair and makeup to getting your dress on to family photos. You are literally giving yourself freedom to do whatever you want. And for some people, that's like, shit, I can do whatever I want, but like
too much freedom,
But like, that's why I have like a full guide, and it has pages on pages of activities that you can do with your partner. And if you are bringing family members, like, so one of my elopements this last year was in Idaho, and the day before we took a UTV ride. So it's me and the couple, I'm in the back seat, helmets on. Yes. And like we were dealing with wildfires at the time. So like a little bummed you couldn't see everything because of the wildfires, but it was still fun. And like, we're just, getting away from family for a split second, and like elopements, like you're still kind of just like, I need a minute, but like we are adventuring, and we were just in shorts and a t-shirt. Like, I'm not saying you have to wear your wedding attire multiple days in a row. You can, and it's super fun. And that's how you can get like really epic sunset portraits, is we'll go to a different location and you get dressed up again, which is, I've worn my dress so many times. Like, it's fun to wear your dress.
Yeah. I was going to say, it kind of puts the whole, like, you only wear it once.
Oh yeah. I put that to shame. We wear it multiple times. I think I've worn my wedding dress, me personally, I think I've worn it like 7 different times.
Oh my gosh.
I don't, it's been a while. I just see if it fit. But anyway, but like filling the day of an elopement. So like the day before, UTV rides, UTV adventures. Day of, I've gone out to eat for breakfast or brunch. And like we just honestly, if you think about a vacation, right, you are going and doing the things and seeing the things. But the luxury of it is you also have a photographer with you, so you don't have to pull out your phone. Yeah. It's my job to capture you exploring and doing things, you doing it. Like, you just get to go do it. It's my job to make sure it's recorded.
Yes.
So like when I go on a vacation, I want to go see this spot. I want to go to the national parks. I want to like rent a horse, because like in certain national parks you can go horseback riding, or I want to take a helicopter tour and
rent a horse.
rent a horse. No. But like rent a cowboy, more like it. No. But like you can reserve a helicopter and you can go on a helicopter tour, and like they have certain guides for certain activities. Like you can go balls to the wall, or you could go chill. It just depends, like what's your personality type, like what's your vacation type. Are you someone that wants to sit on a beach, or are you someone that wants to explore? And I'm usually someone that wants to explore, but like I just am your third wheel and I'm following along.
Yeah. So how are these clients finding you? Like, how are they like, okay, Jamie is my person and she knows exactly what I want to do and helps us plan what I want to do. Like, how do they go about finding where you are?
This is why I invested so much time in my website the last couple of years. I have had lots of blogs. So people generally find me from Google now, just because social media has changed so much. I found that my people were on Google. So they are researching, how do I elope in Glacier National Park? How do I elope in Washington, in Oregon? And I focus really hard on Washington, Oregon, and Utah. I found that those are my 3 favorite states to go to. I also really love Alaska. No, but like, I spent a lot of time blogging very good content that my couples were asking for. Like when they're in the beginning stages of planning, they're usually like, how to elope in XYZ. And so I wrote blog posts on that. And then like the blog posts are not just like keyword filled, they are good content. And then I also had a copywriter for my website to make sure that my website was ranking for the locations that I wanted to shoot in.
Yeah, I love that. So if people were like, hey, I want to become a elopement photographer, what are some of your biggest tips?
I feel like if you want to get into elopement photography, styled shoots are fun. I understand there's lots of controversy with styled shoots, but they can get you in those locations so that you can familiarize yourself with those locations. And then you can go there and explore. You can have a couple, and then you can just figure out what that looks like, where the sun is. And like, I feel like it's so much easier once you've been somewhere. Otherwise there is a lot of research that goes into being an elopement photographer, because you are, in a way, you're usually your couple's photographer and their planner. So like I find locations and I make sure I fill out their timeline, and I'm getting to know their personalities, their adventure type. I'm helping find vendors for their personality types. So like you want to make sure that you're definitely a people person, and like you're not just getting into destination work just to be like, I went there. It's very involved. So making sure that you're doing it for your client, I feel like, is one thing I would definitely tell people, but also getting to those locations, doing the research on those locations, making sure that like, do I need a permit for this location? There's so many little things that go into it, but also if you want to do it, because it's fun.
Yeah. Like just get out there and try it.
Like just try it. Just see how you feel. And I can't tell you how you're going to feel afterwards. You may do it and be like, that was too much work. I want to stick to my favorite venues, not vendors in my town, which is fine. Or you may be addicted like me and you just want to run away to the mountains.
So this is just a personal question out of my own curiosity. When you book a destination or elopement couple, are you usually photographing their engagement session as well? Or do you do like a day before session, or do some couples not? Like, what does that process kind of look like in comparison to like when you were shooting traditional weddings?
I feel like I do not shoot engagement sessions at all anymore. And I offer them. I don't feel like I do them though. Like, they're not usually included with my clients. My clients are more interested in full day coverage and partial coverage the day before or day after. I do a lot of day before sessions because a lot of my clients, if they're a micro wedding client, for example, they are very much want to be in the moment with their family. They don't want to be pulled away for a timeline. So I tell them that's totally fine. I'm okay with that. But I know you still want sunset pictures. So why don't you fully enjoy your day, fully immerse yourself with your people, and we will do a separate portrait session where it's just the three of us. And we don't feel like we're missing out on anything. So instead of doing an engagement session, we'll do like an adventure session where we get full day coverage. They're fully with their people, but then we get to go to another location, and that's all we're worried about on that day.
Yeah. If you could go back to past Jamie when you were thinking about doing elopements or when you first started, what is some advice that you would give to her? What would you say?
Do it sooner. No. I feel like, what would I tell myself? I definitely made some mistakes, and not to be so hard on myself. Whether that was like leave no trace mistakes. We all make mistakes, but you tried, Jamie. It's okay to make a mistake. You don't know what you don't know until you know it. Like with permit stuff, I feel like that one is a big one because not everyone realizes you need permits for certain locations, and pay your fine. Now you know. But like, I'm trying to think other things that I would tell myself. I feel like it's okay. I would tell myself it's okay to want to be a destination photographer and live in Iowa. Like, it's okay that you live in Iowa because that's where your family is, but it's okay to not want to shoot weddings in Iowa because it doesn't fill your cup. Like, you love those people, but you didn't feel creatively fulfilled, and that's okay to say out loud.
Yeah, for sure. What are some things that you are super proud of that you've accomplished in the last couple of years, or goals that you've hit?
I think, okay, so my biggest one, I hit all 50 states last year.
That's amazing.
Alaska and Hawaii were my last two states to hit, which is hilarious because they're the hardest ones to get to.
And you did them both in 1 year? Or close to?
I did Hawaii in 2022, Alaska in 2023.
Okay, so close.
They were, legit. Hawaii was August of 22 and Alaska was August of 23.
Oh, okay.
And, it was my goal to hit all 50 states before I turned 30, and I did it.
Nice.
So that one was definitely so I feel so confident when people come to me for out-of-state destination work because I am very well traveled. I know how to travel. I know how to do this. I know how to navigate an airport, rental car, everything. Like, I do it all the time. So I feel really good about it.
Yeah. What do you have any big goals or dreams for the future of JTP or anything when it comes to elopements or business in and of itself?
I have a few national parks that I really, really want to shoot an elopement in. So I feel like those ones are pretty big for me. Cause I love national park elopements. They're so much fun. So I think definitely hitting more of the national parks. That's probably my biggest one right now. What's really funny and kind of controversial? I'm a destination elopement photographer, but I have kind of 0% desire to be an international destination photographer. I want to travel internationally, and I've only been to Mexico. So I have technically traveled internationally, but I only want to travel internationally for fun. I don't necessarily want to do it for work. And I feel like...
Well, I know that's a whole other thing.
Because there's visas and everything that are involved. And don't get me wrong, I can get permits for the States. I can figure it out internationally. I just don't want to.
Well, there's so much to see just even here.
Exactly. Like the United States is huge, and my favorite places are in the United States, and there are some of my favorite places to work. And if I want to go, like on my bucket list is to go to Ireland, and I want to go to Europe, and I want to go to Greece, but I just want to go. I don't want to work. I want to go. So I guess like maybe a business goal for JTP in a way you could say is I want to have enough work where I can take a certain long vacation, or maybe I can finally take my honeymoon with just Mark, where it's like, okay, my destination work in the States has paid for me to go on my international trips. I guess that could technically be one of my goals.
Yes. Yeah. What would you say to moms who want to be destination elopement photographers?
I feel like everyone says this too, like find your village, LOL. But my village is small, but my village is strong. It's not possible to do this without some form of help. I am full-time stay-at-home mom, full-time work from home, business owner mom. But when I go somewhere, my mom is my traveling nanny Grammy. That's the nickname she gave herself, and I love it. But also it's like my husband works Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 kind of job. But if it's close enough where I can go on the weekends, I know my husband's home with the kids. But otherwise I either have to make sure that my mom takes off work to watch my kids. And that's why like I'm looking at my calendar for 2025 and I'm like, okay, we need a little bit more help, and making sure I plan ahead. It's one of the things I have to do as a mom is figuring out childcare. It's kind of sucks in a way because I am default parent, but like at the same time, I like being in charge. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like you're in charge, but like sometimes you just wish someone else would be in charge. Anyway.
Okay. So this one might put you on the spot just a little bit, but I'm sure you've thought about it. Plan out your dream elopement. Location, what activities are they doing?
Okay.
Where, like, I want to know.
My vision in my head right now, the first thing that came to my mind is August, Mount Rainier, which is in Washington, wildflower season. And we start our hike at 3 a.m. when sun hasn't come up yet. We get to ceremony spot as the sun is just coming over the ridge. And that's, I don't know, 6:30ish. So we've already started the day at, say, 2 a.m., 3 a.m. We get to our sunrise ceremony spot at like 6 a.m. We have our private, intimate ceremony. We bring brunch with us up the mountain. So we can have like a little battery pack. Shout out to Ryobi. No. We can make little waffles and mimosas. We do a little celebration, take some portraits, we explore, go down a couple different hiking trails. We just hang out in Mount Rainier all day. And then from there, we can go back down the mountain. We can go take like a midday nap, little midday break, meet back up. We can go downtown, maybe do a little attire, dress change. We go explore, like downtown area, get dinner, cut some cake. And that's just if I'm planning like a 3-person elopement, actually. I'm planning like 0 guests in my head. But
well, I said your perfect elopement. So
that takes us back. So August, I want to go down a different trail for sunset. And we just go back up to a different area of Mount Rainier during sunset time, get some more portraits, get just some more alone time. I absolutely love when my couples, and I'm far away from them, but they're having their own private moment of vows and letters. And they're getting ready together. They're doing hair and makeup together. Sometimes my couples even have the hair and makeup artist hike with us. So like we're just a little team and it's so intimate, but it's so much fun. Like one of my couples even joked this year, it's like girls trip plus my groom. But I feel like that's like in my mind, those are some of my favorite days because like, it's not totally balls to the wall, crazy activities, but it's intimate and it's them. Like we are in nature, we're exploring, we're seeing all the sights, and we're just honestly having an amazing day.
Someone do that.
Like
Someone do that and then book Jamie.
The day before, we can do a different adventure, or we can go down a different trail. We could even pop over the Hood River and go into Oregon.
Yes, I love that so much.
Like literally I want to say it's about 4.5 hour drive. So even the day before, if we started on the Oregon coastline and worked our way up the coastline, oh my God. And then then we go over to Washington and we do our sunrise or sunset. Like that in my mind is perfection.
That honestly, I want to go do that. I'm married.
I know. That's why okay. Let's be honest. I am telling you what I want to do for my vow renewal.
Yeah, right. But you're also photographing it. So you just clone yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
yeah. Okay. So now that I'm done drooling,
I love that so much. Okay. So where can people find you, find your how to elope guide, and find anything that they would need to know?
I feel like, and I know there's so many other questions that people might want to ask me between like, how do you do this with kids? How do you you can legit ask me anything. My DMs slide right in. They are always open. My Instagram is Jamie Tobin Photo. And then my website is Jamie Tobin Photography. If you ever want to do like a one-on-one mentorship, if you just want to say hi, I will not stop talking.
I love that so much. Thank you so much for sharing all of your insight and your tips and your dreams, your goals, and letting other moms know that it is possible.
It is totally possible. I mean, we're going on year 5 now, and it gets different every year, but it's fun and it's worth it. And if it's something that you've thought about doing, please just try it. Just try it. You don't know until you've experienced it. And once you've experienced it, you might be like me and be like, I can never, ever, traditional weddings are ruined for me.
I love that so much. All right. Well, thank you for listening to today's episode. You can find us at Cameras and Car Seats on Instagram, and you can ask us all the questions that you need to know, and we will see you next time.